Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. In this video, we are going to look at Mitch McConnell counters Nancy Pelosi with his own virus bill with voter irregularities, Section 230 provisions. Well, at least everybody agrees that Americans should be getting more than $600 at this point. The $600 proposition was nothing short of a slap in the face. What is $600 going to do for you? I mean, seriously, is that even going to pay your rent? Not in today's day and age, it won't. So I'm glad that at least both parties that are presenting a bill have upped it to $2,000 and at least agree on that part of it. I mean, the original bill that Trump basically, redlined from an act from 1974, he basically outlined all the ridiculous things that were in it. Like donating $10 million to Pakistan for gender studies. And I think it was Indonesia. They wanted to give $1.5 million so they could study how lizards react on treadmills. Gee, that's money well spent, don't you think? There's Americans practically on the verge of starvation, and they want to give foreign countries money for asinine things like that. Well, I'm glad that they've come to their senses. Now, Mitch McConnell here has countered Nancy Pelosi's bill here, but at least they agree on the $2,000 part of it. I'm just going to read this article here. It's a quick read, maybe 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go over it. Does Cocaine Mitch have some game after all? President Donald Trump had been pushing the Senate Republicans to up the number of checks for Americans from $600 to $2,000. Indicating that they were shooting themselves in the foot if they didn't agree to it. Word now is breaking that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has introduced a competing virus relief bill that not only would have the positive aspect of the Democratic bill, i.e. the greater $2,000 payment for Americans, but also would repeal Section 230 and set up a commission to study voter irregularities. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell introduces competing bill for $2K stimulus checks. It would also repeal Section 230 and set up commission to study voter F. McConnell did introduce a bill that would increase the payments, repeal protections for social media companies, and establish an Election F commission. A proposal that, if voted on, has no chance of becoming law, but is being pushed by Trump. McConnell also could bring up the House-passed $2,000 check proposal. If he can pass this in the Senate, he's now shifted the burden to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to actually reject something that no one should be against at this point. Now, some are saying that Democrats wouldn't pass it, and McConnell knows that. That might be true. But then it's on Democrats to come across and table it to get it done. Democrats have caused delay after delay after delay with Wuhan virus relief funds. They have no standing to say anything now about anyone. This is calling them up to take steps on 230 and voter irregularities. If they're against getting rid of Section 230 or looking into voter irregularities, then that's exactly why they should all be voted out. This is just holding their feet to the fire. But it's important to keep in mind Americans who aren't being held in limbo because of lockdowns. They don't have time to wait anymore. Democrats have stalled long enough. You have to fish or cut bait. Enough of the back and forth. Make it happen now. They need to both pass the money and open up everywhere, because the only way you're ultimately going to solve all this is by stopping the economy-killing lockdowns that don't actually do anything to stop the virus. Precisely. And as I've cited before, the country of Sweden. Sweden has done little to nothing since the pandemic started in terms of lockdowns, in terms of masks, in terms of social distancing, and their numbers are not proportionally higher or lower than anywhere else. Even domestically, here in the U.S., you look at a state like Florida. DeSantis down there has very little restrictions at this point. Whereas you look at, California, where they have nothing less than draconian restrictions, proportionally, their numbers are not very much different, people. So I think we've safely concluded that lockdowns are not an effective way to stop the spread of the virus. I mean, all we're doing now is destroying the economy. Think about it like this. Before the pandemic, I believe America was something like $22 trillion in debt. Now, with this stimulus package, we're going to be closer to like, I don't know, I haven't actually looked, but I would say probably more like 24, 25 trillion in debt. So you look at all the people that aren't working because of this. I mean, this has gone on for months, more or less, to a greater or lesser degree. I mean, people need a sense of purpose. You know, they need to get out of bed in the morning and realize that they have something to do, as in, you know, work, as in earn money, as in pay taxes. I mean, think of all the money here. Look at it this way. Think of all the money that America isn't getting because of the deflated tax base because of the lockdowns. Saying nothing of the fact that, I mean, some Americans are on the verge of starvation because of this. I mean, I'm glad they upped it to $2,000, but I am all for just ending the lockdowns across the board, turn the country back on, let people go back to work, let them earn a living, let them feel a sense of purpose, and that is a step sociologically and economically in the right direction. I do not endorse these lockdowns anymore because it's proven that they don't overly work. Now on the subject of Section 230. Well, I'm obviously a little bit biased here, being a YouTuber, but I speak for everybody when I say that you should be able to post whatever you wish to social media as long as what you're posting is not illegal. Why should there be a problem with that? Why does social media need to have people like fact checkers? The very presence of fact checkers should insult your intelligence. It really should. I mean, they're basically insinuating that you don't have the mental acuity to decide for your very own self what is true and what is not. They're doing the thinking for you, but they're presenting it like they're doing you a favor, like, oh, we're saving you time here by not posting that because we've decided it's not true. So we're saving you time. Don't you want to think for yourself? Don't you want to make your own decisions as to what's true and what's not true? If they repeal Section 230, that wouldn't just be a huge gift for Americans. That would literally be a huge gift for the entire world, because that would swing the door wide open for lawsuits to sue social media if they censor you if you post something that isn't illegal. They would literally have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lawsuits overnight if they continued the way they are if Section 230 is repealed. From all over the world. I don't even think that they could even hire enough lawyers to fight all these lawsuits. I don't think there's enough lawyers to even do that. I mean, what would that do to their share price? They would have literally no choice but to change their tune really fast on their policies. Their policies would have no choice, practically overnight, as I say, to change. Otherwise, they would get their gluteus maximus sued right off. This is long overdue. They've enjoyed the protection of Section 230 while enjoying the benefits of calling themselves a platform. Well, like they say, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, thank you very much for coming along with me to my video, people. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until Section 230 is repealed, we still have censorship. I would appreciate any share that you could do with this video. Until next time, God bless.